This is ANN News Brief.
Police in Ethiopia say at least 177 persons were killed in violent protests last week. The killing of a popular musician, Hachalu Hundessa, sparked violent protests. Police say investigations into the murder are still underway and there have been some arrests as his murder remains unresolved. At least 200 persons were wounded during the protests. Authorities say more than 4,000 persons have now been arrested because of their alleged involvement in the wave of violence. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has vowed to restore law and order across the country, and in some places like the capital Addis Ababa, calm has returned. The government still maintains a strict control over internet services, which have been almost entirely shut down for more than a week. Still in Ethiopia, Ethiopian pilots are adapting to new workflow caused by coronavirus pandemic. Most of 54 African countries closed their airspace to curb the spread of the pandemic since March. Now, various governments have announced phased reopening of their countries. Africa's largest carrier, Ethiopian Airlines, began operation last month and said it was good to be back after scrambling to revamp its services for cargo and repatriation flights in the past few months. The WHO's Africa chief, Matshidiso Moeti, hopes to see all airlines do more, encouraging physical distancing by leaving seats vacant. The WHO recommends that countries look at whether the need to fight widespread virus transmission outweighs the economic benefit of reopening borders. Africa has so far recorded more than 500,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. We'll be right back.
We are on the road every day, canvassing throughout Africa for news you really need. We follow the story everywhere, from every corner of Nigeria to the wide African expanse. We bring you what's making headlines. We connect you with news you can use. ANN, African News Network, in a truly African spirit.
A foreign source says Libyan warring leader General Khalifa Haftar is ready to sign a ceasefire agreement. Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov says he hoped Turkey would persuade Libya's UN-backed government to do the same thing. Haftar's forces have suffered a series of defeats at the hands of internationally recognized government forces, which are heavily backed by Turkey. Russia, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates support General Khalifa Haftar. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned foreign interference in Libyan conflict. Antonio Guterres warned the Security Council on Wednesday that the conflict in Libya has entered a new phase, with foreign interference reaching unprecedented levels, including in the delivery of sophisticated equipment and the number of mercenaries involved in the fighting. The oil-producing country descended into chaos after the NATO-backed overthrow of leader Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. Since 2014, Libya has been split, with an internationally recognized government controlling the capital Tripoli and the northwest, while military leader Khalifa Haftar in Benghazi rules the east. The warring parties are currently mobilizing forces at the new front lines between the cities of Misrata and Sirte. Guterres said the conflict is in violation of the UN arms embargo, UN Security Council resolutions, and commitments made by member states in Berlin. Between April and June this year, the UN mission has documented at least 102 civilians' deaths and 254 civilians' injuries. There had also been at least 21 attacks on medical facilities, ambulances, and medical personnel. That is ANN News Brief at 11. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.